man, so a lot of people asking, how far the Lions are to the playoffs. Check out Detroit Lions Saw playlist, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, which is an interesting question, man. Honestly, how do you know how far they off? You don't know what the Bills did. You don't know what the Jets did. The Bears gonna do. This is a whole new season. It was the weakest Super Bowl ever. It was the weakest NFL season ever. This season was trash. I don't know if it's starting to lose its luster. It was just honestly just trash. I feel like my buzz it died on the previous season in the Washington game. But it's just like it wasn't like I wasn't like dying to see no games. So I don't know if it's too much NFL or whatever, but give a hell about no Bad Bunny or no Sam Darnold or no Drake May. I like Drake May, but I watched a little bit in the second half. I watched Independence Day. They put it on Netflix. That's what I was watching, man. So I didn't really care for it. There was nobody I really cared for in the Super Bowl. I didn't really care for none of them. So wasn't no point to watch. And then, the build up for the week was trash. It didn't feel like a Super Bowl week. NFL killing their product with too much oversaturation. Like I said, I said it before, I said it again. Football should be played on Sunday and Mondays. We don't need Thursday. We don't need Thursday. We don't need Monday and Sunday. The best game should be the best games they can think of, Sunday night, Monday night. That's it. But you don't know how far the Lions are. You don't know what moves other teams gonna make. You don't know who's gonna be healthy, who's gonna be injured. You don't know who window gonna close, who's gonna open. Most people think Kirby Joseph window closing. Most people think Brian Branch window closing. With the injuries, we'll see what happens. But it's too late to be talking about Super Bowl. But I think we all got a guesstimation of how the Lions are gonna move. How they gonna move? They're not gonna spend much money. They probably gonna cut a lot of these veterans, and they're gonna sign these underwhelming signings, and they're gonna be very cheap. This is what it is. That's been the reality. If you're hoping for a Max Crosby, it's not gonna happen. But if you're hoping for, another caliber player, or a high caliber, it's not gonna happen. It's not going to be no high caliber trades, or they're not going to soup the roster up, none. And if they do have to put money somewhere, it's going to be into a really good center or a really good tackle or guard, depending on what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? So, they want to protect their investment in Jared Goff. That's where they're going to spend money at. So when you look at the offensive line, realistically, when you look at it, even with Decker coming back, there's 3 openings, both guard positions, right? With a guard or a center position, or depending on what Tate do, 2 guard positions in the left tackle position, regardless. However you look at it, that position that Decker playing is open. If he come back or don't come back next year, you got to fill it or prepare to fill it. So my thing was, you draft a tackle, play him at guard, move him to tackle the following year. Happens all the time. So we'll see. They're gonna spend money to protect Goff. That's about it. Other than that, defense is just about being healthy. How healthy they gonna be? Or are they gonna, practice, make adjustments to their practices and not do so much live tackling? If you're gonna live tackle, don't live tackle with Jahmyr Gibbs. You know what I'm saying? Do Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch and Jack Campbell need the live tackle? Fuck no. They're top-notch players. Do you really need Terrion live tackling? No, he's been playing football a long time. He don't have to do much live tackle. Amik, no. DJ Reed, no. They don't need the live tackle. Now, if you want to get the young dudes in there, the young players, and get their form tackle, okay. But I don't need my Aiden Hutchinson doing live tackling and getting hit for fucking what? He been doing this for a while. If whatever we live tackling at, let's take they live tackle to 50%. I don't need my running backs getting hit. I don't need my receivers getting hit, all that. The veterans that been here, your all pros, your Panisa Wells, take that shit down 50%. That's my thing. But they can make the adjustment, fix the line, make the adjustments on the hits and all that. I'm cool with it. But the question is so premature that Woolworth Sports is asking. But guess what? It ain't much to talk about. I think the Pistons play the Hornets tonight. So, but other than that, no, you don't know. That window can be closed. That window can be open. But what we say about Philly finds a way to innovate. They find a way to make room for their top players. That's it. Detroit finds room to make excuses not to get more top players. So, but I think the true essence in the Lions, really winning the Super Bowl is them making adjustments on their personnel as far as, drafting more durable players and not doing so hard in practice. Just scale it back a little bit for the veterans. The young guys can take it. But, Dan Campbell might be stuck in his ways, man. But I don't even care if the Lions don't win the Super Bowl. That shit, in my mind, it ain't gonna happen. So I don't sit here hoping every year. Sorry, I don't give a fuck. like if they would have did it, they do it. They did it. If they do it, they do it. If they don't, they don't. It's a wrap. Let's focus on the Wings, the Tigers, the Lions, and the Pistons. But we have this infatuation that we're going to get up. Nah, man, they always half-ass it, man. No matter if you go down, everybody support these teams. They spend money, they support and spend more money than they do in LA, Miami, all these other places. You think Detroit and Cleveland, they deserve winners, man. They deserve fucking winners, man. They show up every fucking Detroit, Cleveland. They show up every fucking year. Can't get right. But doesn't matter. We got to see when they see. You think if Buffalo would have got a number one receiver, they probably would have won the Super Bowl this year. That got to hurt most for the Buffalo Bills fan. Had they got a number one receiver, had they got that kid that went to Carolina, that McMillan, that the receiver, had they got him, that would have been enough. You know what I'm saying? But then again, they can go back. We have Stephon Diggs and King, but it's a different year. It's a different year. So, yeah, we can go if was a fifth, we all be drunk. But if they had a number one receiver or another top receiver they can really bank on, that kid from Carolina would have been perfect. But Buffalo would have won the Super Bowl this year. But Buffalo, Detroit, Cleveland just seem to have a curse that can't be lifted right now. But hey, hit the link in the description. Find me on X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch. The link tree is the first link there to take you wherever I'm producing content at. I do appreciate y'all for supporting the channel. Check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Let me know what you girls and guys think. If I don't, I am going to speak on James Pierce because we see why the Detroit Lions probably didn't draft him. They wanted to, but we see why there was some hesitation there. And it had to do with a Detroit woman. Crazy.